tradition of the Christmas tree came from Germany, and there are accounts of early 19th century Christmas trees in America, but the custom wasn't widespread outside of German communities. The Christmas tree first gained popularity in British and American society thanks to the husband of Queen Victoria, the German-born Prince Albert. He installed a decorated Christmas tree at Windsor Castle in 1841, and woodcut illustrations of the royal family tree appeared in London magazines in 1848. Those illustrations, published in America a year later, created the fashionable impression of the Christmas tree in upper-class homes. By the late 1850s, reports of Christmas trees were appearing in American newspapers. And in the years following the Civil War, ordinary American households celebrated the season by decorating a Christmas tree. The first electric Christmas tree lights appeared in the 1880s, thanks to an associate of Thomas Edison, but were too costly for most households. Most people in the 1800s lit their Christmas trees with small candles. And if you can kind of see the tree in the background behind me, I have little candles representing the lights. So the first Christmas tree in our White House was displayed in 1889 during the presidency of Benjamin Harrison. The Harrison family, including his young grandchildren, decorated the tree with toy soldiers and glass ornaments for their small family gathering. There were some reports of President Franklin Pierce displaying a Christmas tree in the early 1850s. But the stories of Pierce's tree are vague, and there doesn't seem to be really good mentions in newspapers of the time, so we're not quite sure if that's true or not. So Benjamin Harrison's Christmas cheer was closely documented in the newspaper accounts, though. An article on the front page of the New York Times on Christmas Day, 1889, detailed the lavish presents he was going to give his grandchildren. And though Harrison was generally regarded as a fairly serious person, he vigorously embraced the Christmas spirit. Not all subsequent presidents continued the tradition of having a Christmas tree in the White House. By the middle of the 20th century, White House Christmas trees became established, and over the years, it has evolved into an elaborate and very public production. I know this year there was mention that there were 175 volunteers that helped to create the 2020 Christmas display at the White House. The very first Christmas tree was placed on the ellipse in an area just south of the White House in 1923, the National Christmas tree, and the lighting of it was presided over by President Calvin Coolidge. The lighting of the National Christmas tree has become quite a large annual event, typically presided over by the current president and members of the first family. So in 1897, an 8-year-old girl in New York City wrote to a newspaper, the New York Sun, and asked if her friends who doubted the existence of Santa Claus were right. An editor at the newspaper, Francis Pharcellus Church, responded by publishing on September 21st, 1897, an unsigned editorial. The response to the little girl has become the most famous newspaper editorial ever printed. The second paragraph is often quoted. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love and generosity and devotion exist. And you know that they abound and give to your life its highest beauty and joy. Alas, how dreary would the world be if there were no Santa Claus? It would be just as dreary as if there were no Virginias. Church's eloquent editorial asserting the existence of Santa Claus seemed a fitting conclusion to a century that began with modest observances of St. Nicholas and ended with the foundations of the modern Christmas season firmly intact. By the end of the 19th century, the essential components of a modern Christmas, from Santa to the story of Scrooge just strings of electric lights were firmly established in America. So thank you for spending this day with us. We're sorry that we couldn't have you here in person to do our usual open house, but please be with us in spirit. We care about each and every one of you. Think about adding a donation for the Anne Arundel County Historical Society to your Christmas list. Maybe next year in 2021, if you would like, go to our website and go under membership and become a member. We would love to have you with us. We're going to have events all year long. One of the benefits of being a member is you get free tours, you get free use of the library, and we have a wonderful quarterly that comes out 4 times a year. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you for joining us, and be very, very blessed, and have a wonderful December.